The Twitter stock has been very volatile after Elon Musk decided to finally go through with a $44 billion deal. So what's next? Sit tight as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. First up, Twitter and Elon have agreed to delay the deal, giving them more time to get their finances sorted. The Chancellor has now given the parties a deadline until 28th October to finish off the deal, and if they don't, a trial will begin in November. This issue started when Elon delayed his original April buy, stating that Twitter is not giving him information about spam accounts. The deal will be carried out at a share price of $54.2, and when this was announced, the stock jumped 20% to a price of $52. Musk said that he'll be financing $13 billion for this deal, and the company is refusing to close the court proceedings in case of a failure in getting the financing. In our opinion, this deal will open more possibilities for both Tesla and Elon, but consequences and failures are bound to appear in their way. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Twitter. And first of all, we'll analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that we're currently in a gap down at $49.16 from our previous close at $49.39. Now, this is pretty obvious since, as you guys can see, we already climbed by over 20% in a single day. So this small pullback was pretty much expected. But of course, we already know that Elon and Twitter have, agreed to kind of postpone the deal, to delay the deal. So of course, that would cause somewhat of an unrest in the market as well. But I believe that this is pretty short term. In my opinion, the stock probably wouldn't go back to these old levels, right? Instead, what's going to happen is, well, if we look at the trend overall, we can see that we kind of reversed the trend over here after we, failed to make a lower high. So we made a higher high over here and over here and over here as well. After which, of course, we were on our way to squeeze into this range in kind of a cup and handle pattern, but not exactly. After that, of course, this news came out. So in my opinion, if this had not come out, let's just, ignore these candles for a minute and let's analyze it based off of this data. Now, in my opinion, what was going to happen is the stock would of course go over here, right? And from over here, we might have continued a bull run over here into the next earnings report. And of course, we might have just gotten into this $49 range by the end of this year, like by the first quarter of the next financial year. But of course, the news was pretty positive and it pushed the stock all the way over here. So in my opinion, we are first going to head down over here all the way into the $47, $46 range, and that is when we might see some more, bullish momentum. And of course, the earnings report this time is going to be pretty, I guess that is going to be kind of disappointing because we already know that, Twitter as a company is going through a lot right now with all of the takeover stuff and all of the court stuff as well, just the legal, the judicial part, I guess. So of course, with that, the earnings report might disappoint, its investors. And of course, after that, I believe that once we go over here, we'll probably open a gap down over here somewhere, right? And of course, after that, we'll continue the bull run. So in my opinion, we'll probably break this level of $52 by the end of this year, right? We'll of course come over here. So this probably $46 would be a good accumulation zone in my opinion, $46, $45. And after that, we can, trade it or hold it all the way up to the $54, $53 range. Let me clear these drawings out real quick and let's look at the long term as well. If we look at the long term charts, we can clearly see that, Twitter has been a bearish stock since a long time, right? Ever since 2021's February, we've been going down. And of course, this is a pattern over here that we've already made. We've always made this pattern that we get huge gap ups and gap downs. And after that, of course, we get strong pullbacks, right? As we can see over here, right? We did repeat these patterns over here. And of course, if it weren't for this news over here, we would have probably repeated this pattern by going up over here and then getting a gap down strongly over here, and of course falling below these levels as well. So that is my prediction for the stock. I was kind of bearish on the stock for the long term as well, but after this news that Elon has finally agreed, I believe that the stock would be a good buy on the $45 range. Of course, not financial advice. But if we talk about some important support and resistance levels, we can see that over here, this seems to be a good support at $42.5. Below that, we can see that somewhere around $40 would of course be a good support, as it's psychological as well. Below that, $38 probably. And after that, we can see that we made a double bottom over here at 32.65. Now, if we talk about some resistance levels, we can see that over here, this probably would be the first resistance at $51 that we have to encounter, right? And or rather this one would probably be a good resistance range as well at 49.62. Of course, we've dropped below that, and after that we can see that somewhere around here we can see that at $54.5 seems to be a strong resistance as well, right? So this is my analysis for the 1 day chart. Now let's head into the 1 hour chart. Now, if we look at the 1 hour chart, we can clearly see that we've been in somewhat of a bearish time for the past few days. Of course, it's a pullback, right? It's supposed to be that way, and it would probably continue going into this day as well, where we might see a green candle in the hourly chart on the last ones, right, around the market closing, because that's pretty much how the market works, right? Once the stock goes down to a good range, the intraday traders would probably accumulate and sell it off around the last candle. If we look at some more levels over here, we can see that this level at somewhere around 42.3, of course, we've discussed this level, right? This is a strong support. If we look over here, we've made a double top over here at 44.65, right? If we look at the previous charts as well, let's find some resistance levels. We can see that again 44.65, $45 range acted up over here, right? If we go even further behind, right, or even behind in general, let me get over here. We can see that these levels kind of act as a support around 44, $43, $44 to $45 range. Of course, after that, we did see that these levels acted as support as well at $48, which is pretty obvious, right? They acted as a resistance as well. The market was range bound over here in 49.8 and $48 range. And of course, let me go back to the original range that we were just talking about. And over here, now I believe, as I already told you, that we would go down for a few more days before finally getting over here at somewhere around the $46 range to continue the trend. With that being said, I don't believe that anything's left to discuss in the 1 hour chart, so let's get into the 5 minute chart. So over here in the 5 minute chart, we can clearly see that this range over here was resisting the stock for a long time, right? We were range bound over here between $52 and $51.5, right? This range seems to be somewhat of a trap, right? We broke out of that, of course, on the downside, and we got some really good short trades over here, I will say. And of course, after that, we did get resisted by the same range over here as well, after which again we got a good short trade. So in my opinion, this level over here that we made a somewhat of a triple bottom on at 49.69 would probably resist the stock today, right? So of course we'll go down, and after that, once we come back over here, we'll probably get resisted around $49.69 in my opinion. And after that, of course, as I already told you, on the next day, right, or by the market closing, we'll probably be somewhere around here around the 48, or rather just the 48.5, I guess somewhere around this range, right? We could be lower, but we probably won't be higher than this. Other than that, the only advice I have for people who are trading Twitter at the moment is that it's a highly volatile stock because of recent news and stuff, right? So you should make sure that you trade with caution, and of course, just don't trade blindly off of news or just chart analysis. Use everything between fundamentals, news, chart analysis, price predictions, YouTube videos, all the information you can find to base your trades off of. But then again, remember that I could be wrong since this is not financial advice, it's just my own opinion. So remember that you should always do your own research. And of course, if you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel, Stocks 101, for more such videos. And I will see you guys in the next one.